as on the mound is Olivia Farrell. She gets ready for the first pitch. Here it is. And that one in for a ball. 1-0.
Yeah, Vejvoda had a really good series against Providence. She was 2 for 3 with 2 hits in her last game, and she had an even better series before that against Seton Hall, going .500 from the plate.
Farrell looks in, winds up, and delivers. Here's one fouled off right into the screen. Farrell this year for Nebraska, a 2.37 ERA, a record of 11-4. She leads Nebraska in innings pitched with 91 2/3. Excellent strikeout to walk ratio of 3.25 strikeouts to every single walk.
Yeah, Farrell had a quality start in her last appearance against Michigan, going 5 1/3 inning pitched with 2 earned runs.
Here's the pitch into Vejvoda. Fouled off into the screen. So it's 1-2 now. The leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays, again hitting .338 on the year. Excellent shortstop.
And Farrell, she's been the anchor of this Nebraska rotation for a couple years now. She's pitched over 90 innings for the Huskers, almost half of them coming from her.
1-2. That's set up on the outside edge, misses on the outside. Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a great pitch, but an even better take by Vejvoda there. She saw earlier fastball higher in the zone and was able to lay off there on the outside one. Really good discipline.
Vejvoda out of La Vista, Nebraska. She's a sophomore. Reaching base just under 40% of the time. Here's the pitch from Farrell, swing and a miss. And it's a strikeout to begin things for the Huskers. 1 away in the top half of the first.
Yeah, that was a beautiful breaking ball, low in the zone, pulled the string on Vejvoda. You saw the variation there. She went high fastball, then outside fastball, and was able to trick Vejvoda there with that low breaking ball for her first strikeout of the game.
Stepping in for the Blue Jays now, Kayla Nielsen. She's a sophomore out of Blair, Nebraska. Just a short jaunt up Highway 75 from Omaha. Here's the pitch. And that is outside, ball 1.
Yeah, interesting stat here for Nielsen. Coming into this game with a 7-game hitting streak, has been swinging the bat really well the last couple of games here for the Blue Jays.
1-0 count for Nielsen with 1 away. And nobody on. Farrell looking in. Infield, the corner's playing in. As there's a swing and a miss from Nielsen. Evens the count 1-1. Nielsen coming off a game against Providence on Sunday in which she went 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer. That came in the first inning in the Blue Jays' defeat there on Sunday. Took the series, though, 2-1. 1-1 pitch from Farrell. And there she gets a chase at a high fastball out of Nielsen. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that's another nice fastball there by Olivia Farrell. I mean, that pitch is so important for her. It just sets everything else up for what she can do in later at-bats.
So back in goes Nielsen after Vejvoda went down on strikes. Farrell looks and delivers the 1-2 pitch. Again, setting up on the outside and again missing to the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the second time Farrell's missed her mark there on that outside pitch. But every time Bredwell and her have pointed at each other, that's what they want. That's what they're looking for. And it seems like her last strikeout came after that outside pitch. So let's see what they can do here. It seems like that's her setup for her strikeout.
Nielsen awaiting the 2-2. Now here it comes. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the first for Farrell.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did against Vejvoda there. She set up with the outside fastball, got them looking, and then tempted them there and pulled the string. This time that breaking ball was in a higher location, though.
Here's Wilson now. And this is Kaylee Wilson, junior infielder from Aurora, Colorado. She's the DP today, designated player. The pitch, and that's in for a strike, 0-1.
Wilson is an incredible hitter. She was all Big East first team last year. She currently leads the Big East in on-base percentage. And she had an okay series against Providence her last couple games out.
48% to be exact on the on-base percentage. That is an excellent number right there. Here's the 0-1. That misses low and a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Husker fans will do well to remember Tristan Edwards, her on-base percentage from a year ago, 58%. We'll talk about that number a little bit more later on when we address Billy Andrews. But again, Wilson with a really solid number, but even then, she's 10% lower than that at 48% for her on-base percentage. Here's the 1-1. Outside, there's ball number 2.
The thing about Wilson, too, is that, yeah, she has a really, really good eye, but she always puts the ball in play. Only 9 strikeouts so far this season. I mean, she consistently makes contact and makes the pitcher consistently work in her at-bats.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. And Matt mentioned the wind a little bit earlier in the broadcast. It is working right to left across the field. 200 down the left field and right field lines, 225 to dead center, and so we could see some balls carry out there towards left.
Yeah, definitely going to favor right-handed hitters today, that wind.
Here's the 3-1. That's high, ball 4. So back-to-back strikeouts to begin things for Farrell, but a 2-out walk puts a runner on first and brings us to the cleanup hitter, Kiara Mills.
Yeah, 3 straight balls, 3 straight fastballs that just did not hit the strike zone. And even though that has been a very good setup pitch for Farrell, she hasn't really consistently been able to get it within the zone. She's been close on a couple of them, but she just hasn't found her spots yet.
Mills hitting .357 this year, coming off a really solid Sunday game against Providence in which she was 2 for 3, a walk and a triple. She'll step in and try to extend the rally. Pitch from Farrell. That ekes out of the glove of the catcher Bredwell. 1-0.
Yeah, Mills had the go-ahead run, right? I mean, last game or the game that they won 7-6, the Blue Jays had a 6-0 lead. They squandered that, and Mills was able to put a huge double into the outfield and eventually win that game for the Blue Jays.
Third walk-off on the year for Creighton on Saturday, and that 7-6 win. And there's a pitch into Bredwell on a dime right there on that lower outside corner for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, that was a great pitch. Farrell, definitely with these right-handed hitters, going to work the outside of the zone, especially with that wind. Definitely don't want to pitch it too far inside or too up the middle because that wind can carry just about any fly ball a lot of distance.
1-1, pitch, and there's a strike this time in the upper part of that zone, 1-2. Still with 2 outs.
Yeah, she's got to be careful here. That's 2 fastballs now. You don't want to show so many fastballs here in one at-bat, but it seems like that is her setup pitch to the breaking ball. Let's see what Farrell goes with.
Farrell set to deliver her 19th pitch. And that's called strike 3 on the outside edge. 3 outs in the inning for Olivia Farrell, all on strikeouts as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. 0-0 Nebraska and Creighton doing battle here in Lincoln on Big Ten Plus.
She's arguably the best hitter in the nation right now. I mean, leading in home runs and has a very high batting average, just under 400.
She takes that first pitch upstairs for a ball, 1-0.
And she's a complete hitter. You watch her hit. She hits home runs at the bottom of the zone, the top of the zone, on the outside and the inside. She's just doing a great job just getting her barrel on the bat and pushing through.
Home run's a big part of how Nebraska is that pitch in for a ball, 2-0. So Andrews an early lead in the count. Home run's a big part of Nebraska's success this last weekend against number 19 at the time, now number 22, Michigan. Huskers picked up a 3-2 and 7-4 win in the doubleheader on Friday. The pitch. And there's a strike on the outside edge, delivered from Mullally for Creighton. Give you a look at Mullally's numbers, she's had a pretty excellent year. Right-handed pitcher out of Seward, Nebraska, 2.65 earned run average. Here's the pitch from Mullally. And there's strike 2, this time coming towards the inside part of the plate. So the count evens up on Andrews after she got an early lead.
And that was a beautiful pitch there on that breaking ball. Started a little high and then just broke right towards Andrews' hands for the strike. It was picture perfect there.
Here's the 2-2, way high for a ball. Count fills up now. 3-1 record for Mullally on the year. Opponent batting average of .231. 30 strikeouts, 26 walks. She'll get ready to deliver the full count pitch. Low and in, ball 4, and Andrews draws the walk. She'll head off to first base, and Nebraska has the leadoff hitter aboard.
Yeah, you never want to start off your inning with a leadoff walk, and like the great saying is, leadoff walks turn into leadoff runs, right? But if there is a hitter that you don't want to just throw a pitch over to get a strike on, it's Billy Andrews. So, at the same time, yes, you walked him, but better than just trying to put a fastball in there and paying with one whole run off of one swing of the bat.
So here's Cami Barra. There's a pitch delivered for a strike on the outside edge. 0-1. And Barra this year, 341, one of 6 Huskers to be hitting over 300. 6 batters for both teams with the batting average above 300. Lolly looking in. Now she'll deliver the 0-1. That one just misses for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Mullally and Dahlin have to be aware of Billy Andrews here on the base pass. 8 stolen bases this year, has only been caught stealing once, and Dahlin has had struggles this year getting caught stolen bases.
1-1. There goes Andrews. Here's the throwdown from Dahlin. Andrews is in there safely with a stolen base, and right on cue, there it is, Matt.
Well, yeah, I mean, going into this game, Dahlin, 16 stolen base attempts, has only had 1 caught stealing, and Andrews doesn't steal a base all the time, but she's very efficient when doing so, and this was the perfect situation, especially with the count. And Ibarra, who is a high percentage hitter at the plate.
1-2, that's smacked into the outfield for a base hit. Rounding third and digging for a home and scoring, standing up is Billy Andrews, and Nebraska takes a quick 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Second in walks as the first pitch is there on the outside edge for a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, we were talking about Billy Andrews and how great of a home run threat she is, but right behind her with 8 home runs this season, not right behind, but a very good threat from the home run is Sydney Gray.
0-1 pitch, and misses in a little bit there, 1-1.
She's just having she's a gamer when runners are on base, right? With so many RBIs, and the fact she's got 28 and only 8 home runs is actually, just shows how well and how poised she is in that moment.
Here's the pitch. There's a strike, just tagging that top edge of the zone, 1-2 against Gray. Gray had 3 of those 28 RBIs come in one swing in Game 2 against Michigan. A 3-run homer really blew the game open for Nebraska. They won that game 7-4 over the 19th-ranked Wolverines. Time called as Gray steps out of the box.
Yeah, Mullally, she has to think this over. Her breaking balls have been looking very nice right now, but you don't want to throw too many or hang one over the plate, and her fastballs are the ones that she's been paying on.
1-2, and she gets a chase high, and a strikeout from Mullally puts 1 out. Here's a first pitch swinging. That's fair down the left field line. Ibarra is being waved home from third, and she will score a double for Felder, and Nebraska adds to their lead.
A great piece of hitting there by Maya Felder. She's
Nebraska native, right-handed hitter, and here's the pitch from Mullally, and that's there for a strike, 0-1. So 1 out, but Huskers have already plated 2 runs on 2 hits here in the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, Squire having a great season, hitting .328 from the plate with 4 home runs. At one point was co-Big Ten Player of the Week in February.
There's a nice pitch delivered for a strike, and so Mullally goes ahead in the count 0-2.
Yeah, Mullally, her fastball has just been just not moving enough, and the Cornhuskers have been able to jump on it, but her breaking ball looks really good right now.
0-2 pitch, that's upstairs for a ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the control just seems a little off. It's either right in the middle of the zone or it's really high when Mullally throws that fastball. She's got to get that under control. It could get ugly real quick.
Mullally looking at that wristband now. She's ready. The 1-2. That's off the handle of the bat. Squire stays alive. We'll see another pitch.
Yeah, Squire's going to want that one back. That was right where she wanted on the inside part of the plate. Was able to get a little bit of the barrel, but just the handle just came, her hand just came a little bit too inside and was able to fight that off.
You thought maybe for Mullally that strikeout would be stabilizing in terms of confidence, but then he surrendered the double, and now this! Going, and gone! Over the left field fence. There's our first left field bomb of the day. A 2-run home run for Abby Squire, and the Huskers double their lead, 4-0 now in the bottom of the first. Brent Vignes, who's been there for 28 years. Now with the bags clear, a 1-0 pitch into Kayla Nielsen, Nebraska's designated player today, hitting 206. Huskers up 4 in the bottom of the first.
And Mullally just has to calm down a little bit here, get her fastball under control. She can't rely too heavily on that breaking ball, and if she keeps doing it, those home runs are going to keep coming in, especially with that wind blowing out the way that it is.
Pitch misses outside, so quickly a 2-0 lead in the count for Kayla Nielsen. Waiting on deck is Caitlin Neal.
And this bottom of the lineup of the Huskers hasn't had a whole lot of production, but this is the time to get it going.
There's a swing and a foul tip, so there's the first strike against Kinney.
You know, that's always the job of the bottom of the order, right? Hey, let's get a run. Let's get, the train moving for the top of the lineup, or if the train's already moving from the top, let's keep it going. And that's exactly what Kayla Kinney and eventually Caitlin Neal are going to want to have to do here for the Huskers to take advantage of this.
Waiting the pitch. Here comes a 2-1 way out. She's a sophomore from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Huskers' third pitcher, really. It's hard to say. She was more of a closer role last year, but this year that time has been split between her and Courtney Wallace. Here comes the 3-1 to Kinney. And that's high ball 4. So the inning continues on. Still only 1 out. And here comes Caitlin Neal to the plate.
Yeah, another walk there and another misplaced fastball. And but that's their job. Keep it moving. Keep it going. Let's get our momentum, and let's keep with it.
First pitch into Neal, and there's a good jump from Kinney on that first base line.
That's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, if we, the Huskers, there's, Rhonda Ravel saying, hey, we guys, bottom of the lineup, you got to keep it going. That's what the Huskers have to try to do here.
Mullally looking at that wristband. Now here comes the 1-0. And time called, and that looks like it did. It just barely grazed off of Neal's elbow. She moves to first. Santa Cruz, the right-handed pitcher, a junior out of Tucson, Arizona, in to try to stop the bleeding for the Blue Jays with 2 runners in scoring position. And here's Ava Breadwell as the first pitch into Breadwell is a ball on the inside, 1-0. Breadwell had a really solid game 2 against Michigan, in which she went 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Correction, that was game 1, but she had that home run, 2-run shot against Michigan in game 1. There's a swing and a miss. Count evens up 1-1. 1 for 3 she was in game 2, and that 7-4 victory for the Huskers.
Yeah, Santa Cruz had Breadwell fishing there on that breaking ball. It looked like Breadwell's eyes just lit up when she saw it, and it just dipped right under her bat for that first strike.
The pitch, high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looks like the wind has slowed maybe a little bit, not much. Back in goes Breadwell. Pitch from Santa Cruz. In for a ball, 3-1.
Right there. That pitch was right there, and a good job by Dolan to try to frame it. And that's a type of pitch that changes it at bat, right? Whether it being 3-1 to 2-2 is a huge shift in the thought process between hitter and pitcher. And
there's one that just tags outside edge of the zone, so the count runs full. Now on Breadwell, this is an important at bat for Santa Cruz to attack the number 9 hitter in the Husker order with Billy Andrews coming to the plate next.
Yeah, Breadwell just has to think, I got to put this ball in play here, get these runners home.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And there's that out the Blue Jays were looking for. Now here's the question. With Billy Andrews coming to the plate, do you intentionally walk her to load the base to her?
I would.
So Santa Cruz looks in the pitch. On the ground to third, picked up on a hop by Gappa, the throw to first. Bobble, not in time. Dashing back into the bag is Glatter. A run scores. Andrews is in between first and second. She slides back to first. Glatter holds on to third. And after a little added chaos at the end, the Huskers had a run. It's 6-0, still 2 outs. And here comes Kamibara for her second at-bat of the inning. Left-handed batter, runner goes. That's Andrews. She is uncontested and safe at second base. So 2 runs in scoring position once again for the Huskers.
Yeah, I would expect Andrews every time she gets on base to steal, especially with how Dolan's been struggling this season to catch batters, stealing bases, how well she's done this year stealing them.
There's the pitch from Santa Cruz and a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And this has got to be a tough at-bat to pitch to for Santa Cruz. It seems like you get the strikeout, you get the ground ball to get out of the inning, and yet just your fielders can't back you up, and another run was scored.
1-1. There's a near throw back to third from the catcher, Dolan. She holds on to it. 2-1 now for Ibarra. This inning nearing a half hour in total run time. Santa Cruz, and here's one ripped to right, heading back and making the catch at the warning track is Rozonki, and that will end a huge first inning for Nebraska. 6 runs on 4 hits and 1 Blue Jay error.
Her breaking balls and the way she can just move them and manipulate them into similar positions as fastball is so important to how she pitches.
First pitch to Rozonki and appeal down the third base line. Check swing, she did not go around, so it's a 1-0 count to begin things for Emma Rozonki. She is arguably the best bat, and she certainly is actually, in terms of batting average, the best bat for the Blue Jays, hitting .373. 7 home runs and 33 RBIs. That leads the Big East. 1-0 pitch. Foul tip, and it goes into the mid of Breadwell, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Rozonki definitely isn't the first batter you would like to face out of, you know, the not the bullpen, the dugout after sitting there for so long, right? I mean, getting a little bit rest for a pitcher is very important. You don't want to just keep sending them back out there, but getting too much rest, it can make you go cold, and just not the ideal person to face here right out of that.
Oh, the 1-1 off speed got Rozonki, and it's 1-2.
Absolutely beautiful. You know, she had 2 fastball with a little bit of movement pitches before that, and just once again she keeps pulling the string here with these. It's a little bit of a curve like slider kind of. I mean, it's just such a nice breaking ball, and that's how she got those 3 strikeouts in the last inning.
Rozonki, a left-handed batter. Here's the pitch, foul tip right back to the screen, and we'll do the 1-2 once again.
Yeah, and that's the same pitch that she was setting up her strikeouts with, right? That outside fastball. So if I'm Rozonki and I was watching those previous at-bats in the last inning, I would expect a breaking ball of some sort, probably lower to mid part of the plate, just based off of what Farrell has thrown previously.
The 1-2. Waved at and missed. And there's another strikeout for Farrell. All 4 outs in this game have come on strikeouts for the Husker starting pitcher. That's, you talk about the leadoff batter. It seems kind of innocuous. Look, it's 6-0 Nebraska. There's plenty of innings yet to go if you're Creighton, but at the same time, you got to get some sort of momentum back somewhere, and you would think that would start with your best hitter, Rozonki, getting on base.
Well, I mean, it's hard to do that when Olivia Farrell's cooking with gas like she is right now. I mean,
gets a swing and a miss there out of Gappa, who's at the plate currently.
She's just having her way with the hitters right now. I mean, they're just plain and simple. Her variation in her pitches, she's really working. She's not just working north to south or east to west. She's using all parts of the plate right now, and she's doing a good job varying up that fastball along with that breaking ball. I mean, just working masterfully currently.
0-1 count. Here's the pitch to Gappa. That's up and out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gappa hitting .309. Coming off for her what was a career performance in Game 3 against Providence on Sunday. Went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. A career high in hits. Here's the 1-1. On the ground to third. Gloved cleanly by Gray. The throw across the diamond. The pick. Nicely done. And by Felder at first. There are 2 outs.
Yeah, just a beautiful pick there by Maya Felder. And, it's never easy when you get your first ground ball of the day from Sydney Gray, especially when you're working on the hot stove like she is. But, able to pick that up. The ball was a little low, but a great pick there from Felder, and, keeps Farrell rolling here.
Seventh in order now for the Blue Jays. Sam Hall, junior from Omaha, Nebraska, hitting .279. Reaches base 36% of the time. Here's the pitch from Farrell. Foul tip, 0-1.
The thing for Farrell is that, has she always been getting that strikeout for strikes? No, not necessarily. But the fact that she's just showing the batters and tempting the batters with it she's just able to set up everything else that she throws. And it's just been so effective for her.
Here comes the 0-1. There's a strike on the outside edge. 0-2.
Yeah, she finally got that there with that fastball. She's kind of been picking at that corner just a little bit and hasn't been able to get the call until that moment. And is just one strike away from working cleanly in this second inning.
0-2 count. Farrell looks in. Winds and delivers. Lifted foul, right side, and out of play.
Yeah, great job there by Alm. Just get a bat on the ball there, battling to stay in this at-bat.
Back in she goes. Now time called. Farrell wants a different softball. She gets it. Shows a smile and walks back to the circle.
Yeah, I'd be smiling too if I was playing this well through 2 innings. She's just having a good time out there. But you're right, Creighton's got to get something going at some point here because, yes, there is time left, but being down 6 runs isn't a place you want to be for too long.
0-2. That rolls over to Andrews at short. The throw, it's a frozen rope to first. And we are through 1.5 here at Bowlin Stadium in Lincoln. 6-0 Nebraska on Big Ten Plus. Than expected, but now it's a little bit closer to the expected forecast. Back out there for her first full inning of work, Michaela Santa Cruz. She'll work against 3, 4, and 5 in the Nebraska order, beginning with Sydney Gray, who's at the plate now, and she takes the first pitch for a strike on the inside edge, 0-1.
Yeah, Santa Cruz able to stop the bleeding last inning, but it's even more important in this inning that she gets out of it cleanly, keeps the Cornhuskers at bay with only being up 6, especially because they only have one more pitcher coming out of the pen due to the Blue Jays.
Gray struck out swinging in the first, and she takes a pitch a little bit up and in there for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, 2 straight fastballs on the inside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter. Kind of surprised that that's where the targets are being set, especially with the wind blowing out the way that it is, but got to be careful there with those pitches.
Pitch from Santa Cruz. That's taken sharply foul, third base side. Now it's 1-2.
Yeah, Gray got a little bit fooled there to ahead of the breaking ball. That was a good variation of pitches by Santa Cruz.
Gray back in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one's lifted up center field. Adjusting and making the catch is Nielsen, and there's one gone. Here's Felder now, RBI double back in the first. Sent a ball screaming down the left field line. Here's the pitch. Low and in, 1-0. And Felder leads the team in batting average, now hitting .425 after that double. Here's the pitch. Again, low and in. And it's 2-0.
Yeah, that's the second time they're starting off with low and in pitches, and this time Santa Cruz, unlike the last at-bat with Sydney Gray, just not able to hit those spots, but that's exactly where the Nebraska Cornhuskers were pounding the balls in the first inning.
2-0 pitch. This time it goes outside, and again, it misses the zone. So 3-0 now to Felder, second Husker batter of the second.
Yeah, definitely would not want to get a walk here, especially with the meat of the order coming up for the Huskers.
Felder Jr. out of Fresno, California. Here's the pitch from Santa Cruz. And low and in, so that's ball 4. Felder draws the walk. Here's Abby Squire.
Yeah, it couldn't have been.
It's a 2 RBI shot from the sophomore. And a check swing on that pitch. Gets a little contact. 0-1. Squire, that was her 5th home run of the year. Finds herself down 0-1 in the bottom of the second. Santa Cruz looking at the wristband. Now the pitch. High for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, just 1-1. This next pitch, so important to see where this at-bat takes Santa Cruz, just because Abby Squire is a complete hitter and dangerous wherever you put the next pitch.
Pitch, foul off, back and away. 1-2. Squire against Michigan in the first game, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Went 1 for 4 in that 7-4 victory in the second game on Friday night. Third game was set to be played on Saturday, canceled due to weather. 1-2 pitch, high, 2-2. Dolan popped out of that stance quickly, looked down the first base side, didn't feel like she had a throw to try to pick Felder off at first.
Well, Dolan has to be on alert. I mean, she's got to be aggressive here, especially with the scouting report that the Huskers aren't afraid to run on her. Already 2 stolen bases.
2-2, and here's a pop-up. And coming in, making an easy play for it is Alm at second base for the second out.
But they were both just unable to get on it and just under it instead, and 2 pop-outs.
Here's the sophomore Kinney. Walked and scored last time. Here's a sharply hit ball on the ground to Vejvoda at third. She goes all the way to first, and that will do it for the second inning for Nebraska. No runs, no hits, no errors. Creighton settles down a little bit on the defensive end, and as we go to the third inning, back to tell you about it after this will be Matt McMaster.
Gets back to work here after working through 2 clean innings, and up to bat for the Creighton Blue Jays is Shayna Dolan, the Idaho State transfer. And Farrell with a high fastball there. Count goes to 1-1. Dolan hitting .278 in the season with a .422 on base percentage. This is her first at bat of the day, and her team trails 0-6.
Yeah, let's see if Dolan can get something going here for Creighton. They've only had 1 base runner as a 2-out walk back in the first inning.
As Farrell delivers here, and that outside fastball just able to nip the plate, and the count will go to 1-2. And you're right, Grant, they just haven't been able to get leadoff batters on base, and that's exactly why they just haven't been able to get anything going, along with the fact that Olivia Farrell has just been pitching masterfully thus far, switching up her fastballs and breaking balls, and has 4 strikeouts in the game thus far. The pitch outside, count will now go to 2-2.
Yeah, Dolan went 0 for 3 against Providence, or rather 0 for 2 against Providence on Sunday, but she did draw a walk, so she made her first start on February 11th. In that catcher's spot, that first game of the year for Creighton, she's made 16 cents.
Count even. Farrell with the windup of the pitch, and swing and a miss from Dolan. An absolutely beautiful breaking ball from Farrell. We've seen plenty of that today for her 5th strikeout of the game, and there's 1 out for the Huskers here in the top of the third.
Yeah, and again, I think 4 out of those 5 strikeouts have been that off-speed pitch.
Yep.
And so it'll be interesting to see you get through that lineup a second time here in the 4th or the 5th inning for Creighton. Or, you know, in this half inning too, you could see a good percentage of it. How they approach it.
That pitch from Farrell low and just gets it on the strike. Brittany Manthe up to bat here for the Blue Jays. Her first at bat from the game. The junior out of Andale, Minnesota, has hit .273 thus far on the season. She's currently down in the count 0-1 to Olivia Farrell. with the wind and the deliver, a bunt, and that will be foul.
Yeah, Husker infield definitely expecting that. You got the corners coming in, even your shortstop in Andrews and Ibarra at second, they're both coming in.
Yeah.
And they're right in the baselines pretty much at this point. So everybody was expecting that bunt from Manthe.
Well, Manthe had 6 bunt hits last year. She led the team, so that definitely is something that she can do. And a good scouting report there from the Huskers as they're all over it. 0-2, pitch from Farrell, just a little high. And the count now goes to 1-2. As that option for bunting, especially with 2 strikes and how the infield is in right now, definitely out of the picture here for Manthe, who, if she can get her bat on an outside pitch and possibly hit it right towards Sydney Gray, it definitely would be difficult for her to field it based on just how closely she's playing Manthe right now. As Farrell winds up pitches outside for ball 2.
Yeah, it was close. Again, we've seen Farrell come back. Usually about here, this 2-2 is where she comes back with that off speed. So we'll see if she does that here.
Yeah, Manthe, a bit of a slap hitter. She likes taking a couple steps up in that batter's box and able to get the bat on a little bit quicker. She does have good wheels. And she goes around and is out. And there's a little bit confusion there for Manthe. She didn't think she went around, but home plate umpire says otherwise, and that's the second out for Olivia Farrell and her second strikeout of the inning.
Yeah, home plate umpire Dick Sorensen rang Manthe up for that one. It was interesting. It looked like it was a drop third strike, and so Manthe could have had a play to run to first if she wanted to. Instead, she's out, and we'll turn the lineup card over.
And now back up to bat, Madeline Vidoda. Madeline Vovoda up to bat now. She struck out on her first plate appearance in the first inning. It was Farrell's first strikeout of the day, and she took the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third. The Huskers lead 6-0 as Farrell winds up in pitches and outside. Good take there by Vovoda. And the count is now 2-0.
Again, only 1 base runner, and it was a walk really early on in this. So Blue Jays just trying to get somebody on to get some sort of momentum for this offense. It's been very dynamic this year.
Vovoda puts a ball in play, and it'll drop into center field as Neal will pick it up and throw it in, as that's the Blue Jays' first hit of the game.
And there you go. There's some momentum. And here comes to the plate one of your better hitters in Nielsen, the team leader in hits with 29. So we'll see if Nielsen can deliver and keep the 2-out rally going. Again, it's the second time here, once in the first, now here in the third, that you get a base runner on with 2 outs. It might be too little too late, but it's just better to see some momentum if you're Creighton than nothing, because really since the bottom of the first inning, Nebraska's had the Blue Jays back on their heels.
Yeah, and something we definitely didn't expect coming into this game with how well the Blue Jays offense has been playing. We said it before, they're one of the best offenses not only in the Big East but in the country, and just Olivia Farrell has been able to shut the door on them thus far until that hit by Madeline Vovoda, and now Nielsen will come up to bat, and like we said before, she has a 7-game hitting streak coming in this game. No better time to keep it going than right now as she'll put a ball into play. It eats up Billy Andrews, and now that ball was picked up by Camby Barra and tagged onto the second base, so that's the 3rd out of the game as Andrews just got smoked by that ball, but great job by Ibarra to pick it up and get the 3rd out. We'll come back to you here as the Blue Jays just can't capitalize on their first hit of the game as the Huskers lead 6-0 here on Big Ten Plus. Here on Big Ten Plus, as that last out, a very interesting and scary play for Billy Andrews as she just got eaten up there and was looked a little bit shaken up on the play.
Yeah, it was lined directly at her as we got a swing here, a deep carrying ball to the left, and it's out. It's a home run for Kayla Neal, the Huskers' 2nd of the game. A solo shot to begin the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, just an absolutely great piece of hitting there by Neal on that. We'll see here Just a pitch on the outside. The left-hander able to go opposite field and put it right over that 200 sign there on the left field fence, and that wind blowing exactly in that direction. You know, the Huskers just pounce immediately and hit a home run as now Peyton Glatter is up to bat.
Great momentum for Nebraska there on those last 2 plays.
And that first pitch from Santa Cruz is called a strike.
But you get that great presence of mind from Cam Ibarra defensively. You have a ball that's lined directly off of Billy Andrews. That could have been chaos in the infield. Ibarra picks it up and slides in there, tags it back for the out.
As Glatter grounds the ball, and Mills will catch it for the first out of the inning.
And then immediately, you know, as you start the third, you get a home run. So just both sides, offense, in this case defense leading to offense. Maybe you can settle things down a little bit. Again, you're in a 7-0 hole, but anything positive is what you're looking for at this point.
Breadwell there follows off her first pitch from Santa Cruz. In her first at-bat in the first inning, she struck out swinging. And yeah, you're totally right. I mean, that's just how momentum shifts, right? It seemed like finally the Blue Jays seems like they're getting things together. They're getting hard hit balls, and then a great play by Cam Ibarra followed up by that home run. And now that second pitch from Santa Cruz in this at-bat is called a strike on the inside part. It's 0-2 now for Ava Breadwell.
And again, a similar situation. Last time Breadwell was at the plate for Santa Cruz, it's going to be like this every time, but Santa Cruz has to attack her because of who's up next, and Billy Andrews.
Exactly, and that's the thing about when you are batting in front of such a dangerous batter, right? You're taken a little bit more seriously just because if you get on base, there's a legitimate threat on the on-deck circle, as that pitch was taken for a ball there from Breadwell, still battling here in this at-bat. The Crews wind up in the pitch. Hit, grounded to Alm. She'll pick it up and throw it over to Mills, and that is the second out of the inning.
That's exactly what you want to do. Again, we talked at the beginning of the show about how do you slow down these 2 hitters, Rosalke for Creighton and for Nebraska, Billy Andrews. And the answer in many ways is you can't.
Yes.
But you can limit the damage that they're capable of doing by not letting anybody on the base paths, and that's what Santa Cruz did there by coaxing that ground out of Breadwell.
And Billy Andrews, the nation leader in home runs, steps up to bat here. A walk and then an error on her last 2 at-bats. And Santa Cruz just get pelted in the knee. And then Andrews is out at first. Great play by Santa Cruz to just got shaken up there and picked up the ball, threw it right back for the third out of the inning. And that'll do it. 1 home run for the Huskers makes it 7-0 here in the bottom of the third. And we'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. And the game comes back onto the mound, and the always dangerous number 15, Kaylee Wilson, steps up for the Creighton Blue Jays here. The first pitch taken for a strike just on that mid to outside part of the zone. And Wilson walked in her first at-bat.
And believe it or not, this is a big stretch here for Nebraska and for Olivia Farrell. You're facing 3, 4, and 5, Wilson, Mills, and Rosalke. These are probably the best 3 hitters in this Creighton batting order, and if you're Nebraska, you want to keep your foot on the gas, and a 5th-year senior in Farrell, that's something that she's certainly capable of doing.
And Farrell there misses the lower part of the zone, so now we'll move to a 1-1 count here for Kaylee Wilson, who has one of the best eyes in the Big East. She has 22 walks on the season, only 15 strikeouts. Just a quality at-bat machine is Wilson, as Farrell will get to the windup and the pitch. Swung on, dribbler to Sydney Gray. She'll pick it up, throws it over, and she is out at first. A great stretch there by Maya Felder, and Wilson just not able to beat out the throw as the first out is recorded for the Huskers here in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, that was a great play all around. It's a slow rolling ball over to third. Gray did a great job of attacking it. Then she has to complete the throw, and then on the receiving end, you got Felder, who had to really stretch out there to get that one. She's had a couple of really solid plays over there at first today.
And now Kiara Mills, who struck out looking on her first at-bat, is back up to the plate as that first pitch is low for ball 1. Breaking ball there from Farrell. Haven't seen that a lot today. Breaking balls for missed strikes, basically. from Farrell, but the count will now move to 1-0. Mills batting .352 on the season. A very dangerous hitter with an even more dangerous hitter behind her, as that next pitch from Farrell is on the outside part of the plate this time for ball 2.
Yeah, again, with Rosanki not being leadoff, it's a flip side of Nebraska,
Exactly.
right? You have a really solid hitter right in front of your best hitter. So you have Mills here first. Then you have to attack her really in the same way that you attack a number 9 hitter because, again, you have a huge bat in Rosanki coming to the plate next.
Farrell with the pitch, and that one is low once again. That fastball just could not find the zone, and she puts herself in a hole. 3-0 now the count. With got to be careful here, potentially walking Mills with the always dangerous Emma Rozaki, like we were just saying, on deck here for the Blue Jays. Farrell looks at her wristband, winds up, pitches, and that is a strike right on the outside part of the plate for Farrell, and puts herself back within this count. Still a hitter's count, though, but gives herself a fighting chance here as Mills patiently waiting. Farrell with the windup. And that is fouled off there by Kiara Mills, and now the count will go full after that low fastball was just not capitalized on by Mills.
We'll see how Mills attacks this, how aggressive she stays. We'll see how aggressive Farrell stays, if she goes for the zone here or if she'll say she can afford to play.
Farrell with the windup. Fastball gets the outside part of the plate. And the 7th strikeout of the day
And there you go.
for Olivia Farrell.
So Farrell stays aggressive there. She goes for the zone. On the flip side, Mills passive, takes one. It doesn't totally protect the plate there on the outside edge, and she pays for it.
Yeah, and she knew it right away. A great pitch from Olivia Farrell. One of the very few strikeouts she's had with the fastball, as she'll pitch it here to Rozanski, and she swing and a miss on that breaking ball. And the count's now 0-1. Wind picking up just a little bit now. People definitely feeling it in the crowd, getting a little bit colder here as time goes on. As Farrell delivers, and another swinging strike from Emma Rozanski, who just cannot find the timing. To hit that off-speed pitch from Olivia Farrell.
And she struck out back in the second inning on that very same pitch. So Farrell has come back with 2 off-speed deliveries. We'll see what she does here, if she continues with that trend or if she tries to change the eyes or maybe something different.
And a bit of a roller, only traveled about maybe 40 feet to Ava Breadwell, who was just able to secure that there. So,
and a smile from Farrell there too. So just I think a pitch that got out of hand,
Sure.
literally.
well, if there's any time for that was a good joke, for any pitch to get out of hand, it's when you're down, when you're up 0-2 and no one's on base, as Farrell will deliver again, and that fastball just won't catch that outside part of the plate. We've seen that plenty of times from Farrell.
Yeah, and I think that's the spot she was trying to hit on that first pitch. Same sort of area.
Yeah.
She just misses it by maybe a half a ball there on that lower outside corner.
Top of the 4th, 2 outs. Olivia Farrell in a 2-2 count. Pitching to Emma Rozanski as Farrell pitches and cannot get the call there, as
She was close to the knees. She was close.
Rozanski there able to lay off that, and now we'll go full once again here in the top of the 4th. Farrell only has given up 1 run and 1 walk. And the reigning Big East Player of the Year in a full count here, waiting for Farrell's pitch, as Farrell will shoot it basically up the middle, and Rozanski was able to fend that off there.
And there you get the swing from the sophomore, that plate protecting swing that we didn't see out of Mills.
Sure.
In that last at bat. And that's what you're looking for if you're Creighton. You got to battle and stay alive in this one. Anything near in the zone, you can't leave that up to the umpire to decide. You have to decide it yourself. Let that challenge remain in your hands.
Farrell fouled off once again.
And there it is again. Great job protecting the plate here from Rosanki.
Yeah, and she's, that's why she's such a dangerous hitter, right? She's able to make pitchers just continually throw at her until she gets the pitch that she thinks she can connect best on there, and that's exactly what you need to do in this game, especially when you're down 7 with time running out. As Farrell delivers, pitches, that's a high fly ball that's moving towards the outfield, and a great catch there by Abby Squire in left field. What a play right over the fence, and that is the end of the 4th inning. The Blue Jays, no hits, no walks, and no base runners, and we'll be back here for the bottom of the 4th on Big Ten Plus. And we're back here on the Big Ten Plus Network. I'm Matt McMaster, joined by Grant Hansen here in the bottom of the 4th as the Nebraska Cornhuskers hold a commanding 7-0 lead over the Creighton Blue Jays in this very windy but, pretty sunny, a little, maybe a little cloudy day here in Lincoln, Nebraska at Bowlin Stadium, as it's been all Cornhuskers thus far on the offensive and defensive end, as second baseman Cam Ibarra will step up to the plate for her 3rd at-bat of the day. She previously had a single in the 1st inning, and that first pitch by Michaela Santa Cruz will be outside for a ball against Ibarra.
Yeah, 2 home runs for Nebraska, and that's come from your number 5 hitter in the order in Swire, and then your 7th hitter, Neal. So we've had 2 home runs, both to left field. I think everybody coming to the plate has to be licking their lips and trying to get something over the fence down that left field line, 200 feet there.
Yep. Meat of the order here for Nebraska, 2-3-4 up as a second ball was thrown there by Santa Cruz as a hitter's count. Pitch awaits Ibarra. Ibarra swings and belts that ball right up to the center fielder, Nielsen, who will grab it and throw it into the infield, and that's another single for Cam Ibarra, which he will step on first base.
And Nebraska hitting 3 for 4 with their leadoff hitters. Creighton is 0 for 4.
Gray up to bat, a grounder to the third baseman. Double play in order for the Blue Jays, and they will not get it as Gray was safe. A good job there by the third baseman, Alyssa Gappa, to get the lead runner out in Armendariz out at second, but unable to turn the double play for the Blue Jays. And now the first baseman, Maya Felder, for the Huskers will step up to the plate. Felder will take an inside fastball for ball 1. Felder 1 for 1 today with a double down the left field line, which plated 1 runner in the 1st inning and a walk later in the 2nd inning. Felder, 0-1 is the count. Or 2-0 is the count now.
Yeah, she's 1 for 1 today. Do that walk. It's a pretty typical day there for Felder. 2 for 3 in that first game against Michigan, 2 for 4 in the second game.
The Oregon transfer steps into the batter's box with 1 runner on, and will take a low breaking ball there for ball 3. So a little bit of trouble brewing here for Santa Cruz as Sydney Gray is on first with Maya Felder at bat with 3 balls and no strikes, and the very dangerous Abby Squire up on deck, and Felder will take that fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Felder leads the Big Ten in batting average, having a phenomenal year thus far, as Santa Cruz will deliver, and that ball is high, so now the Cornhuskers are threatening with 2 on and 1 out, and it seems like that's what Santa Cruz has really been throwing to Nebraska hitters, so we'll see what happens here as Santa Cruz will wind to deliver a swing and a hit, and that'll drop into left field, and the runners will hold there. Not getting too aggressive here with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th in our last at-bat. A very important at-bat here. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 4th for Kalen Kinney. As Santa Cruz delivers, Kinney will take the first pitch for a strike in the lower part of the zone. Very important for Santa Cruz to get ahead here.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's a lot of weight, I think, placed on the pitcher, especially as you move into that bottom third of the order with the bases loaded to try to generate outs yourself with strikeouts.
Kinney will take another fastball on the outside part of the plate. One and one. Kinney batting .200 on the season, but her OBP is .383 and her slugging is .429, so she can get on base. The bat just hasn't been moving for her this year.
Solid production in the strikeout category for Santa Cruz as well.
Yeah.
She's got 50 of them.
Santa Cruz will miss low there, and now it'll move to 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 4th. Cruz looks to her dugout, now to her wristband. Winds up and delivers, and Kinney checks swing there, but did not get going, and now the appeal down to the third baseline, and that is safe, so now it'll move to a 3-1 count for Kalen Kinney. As Dahlin thought that home plate umpire should have just called it a strike immediately, but no dice going. Now it's a 3-1 count here. Bases loaded. Cruz once again looking at her wristband. Winds up, delivers. Kinney, another check swing. Appeal down to the third baseline, and nothing going as the Huskers will walk in a run, and it'll make it an 8-0 ball game after and allowed Kinney to get to first base and walk in a run as that next pitch from Michaela Santa Cruz is low. Still bases loaded here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out, and now Caitlin Neal, who had a home run last inning, is now up to bat here with the bases loaded. Neal, grounder by, and it's a run there scored by the Huskers as the shortstop, Vovoda, was just unable to grab that ball and throw it over to first base, and now 2 errors have scored 2 runs for the Creighton Blue Jays. And it is Peyton Glatter up to bat. She is 1 for 2 as Santa Cruz, and it hits her. It hits Glatter, and once again the Huskers will plate in a run without even hitting the ball into the outfield. Breadwell will shoot it up into center field. That's grabbed by Nielsen. She'll throw it into home plate, and 2 runs will score after that single. I'm sorry, 1 run will score for the
keep it where it's at, 11-0, and now Billy Andrews, someone certainly with home run power, to the plate.
Andrews will take that first pitch from Santa Cruz high and inside.
And Andrews more than 2 runs, home runs, more than Jocelyn All of Oklahoma, number 1 ranked Oklahoma. You talk about
Andrews will put that ball into center field, and Nielsen will grab it, and she'll throw it in, but not before a run will score. That was number 19 to come in and played it, Caitlin Neal, for the Huskers, and now it is 12-0
before it had even come to the plate.
That first pitch from Santa Cruz just gets the outside part of the plate for strike one. Camille Armendariz will have her first at-bat of the day as Brooke Andrews sits on third.
Well, and it seems like Billy Andrews, before this is all said and done, will enter that category.
And Armendariz puts it into, and it's a home run! My goodness, as it seemed like just a routine fly ball for a second. Cami Barra, my apologies, will put that into the left field fence and just got carried by the wind there as the Huskers take a 15-0 lead.
Well, there you go. There's the grand slam, and Ibarra gets in on the home run party here in Lincoln today. And we haven't seen the Blue Jays take advantage of it yet.
And Ibarra, for a second, just seemed like she put up a routine fly ball, but that just got carried all the way over the Huskers sign there on the outfield fence. As now Sydney Gray will step up to bat with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. As that pitch is now a strike, 1-1 is the count, and Creighton in danger of this game being over prematurely as they are down over 10 runs. They're actually down 15 here to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, as the 1-1 count will be delivered by Santa Cruz and a swing and a miss there by Gray.
And according to Huskers.com, a 15-0 win for Nebraska would be the biggest margin of victory in the series against Creighton. That dates back to 1996. Now, it's not the most the Huskers have scored against the Blue Jays in a game. That was 19 runs in that 1996 game back in February. But Nebraska let up 8 in that game. And so this would be the largest margin of victory for Nebraska in the series, according to what Huskers.com has put together.
Sydney Gray sits in the batter's box with a 1-2 count. And an outside pitch from Santa Cruz will now make it 2-2. Gray 0 for 3 on the day. One of the very few Cornhusker hitters who just have been able to produce anything thus far. As Santa Cruz delivers here, and that's a ground ball. That'll be picked up by Vovoda and thrown over to Kiara Mills for the 3rd out. And a rough inning for the Creighton Blue Jays as they give up 8 runs to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, making it a 15-0 ball game. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus for the top of the 5th inning. Have been incredible coming into this game, but it's been all about Olivia Farrell, right? 7 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed along with 1 walk. She has just completely shut the door on this Creighton Blue Jays offense.
As Nebraska, as Farrell delivers the first strike, 3 outs away from ending this thing prematurely. 8 after 5 run rule is in effect. Blue Jays would need 7 runs in this top half of the 5th to extend the game, and it begins here with Alyssa Gappa over at third today for the Blue Jays. She grounded out in her first appearance back in the 2nd inning. It's now a 1-1 count. Gappa 309 on the year, 5 doubles. 2 of them came in that game on Sunday against Providence. The only loss for the Blue Jays in that weekend 3-game series. Here's a pop-up on the infield. Calling for it. Making the catch is Gray. There's one gone.
Yeah, high inside fastball there from Olivia Farrell. Something she's been throwing a lot. And Gappa just unable to get a big piece of it. Just got right under it. An easy routine play there for Sydney Gray.
Here's Sam Alm now. She'll step to the plate. Again, junior utility player out of Omaha, Nebraska. .275 on the year. Pitch from Farrell. Up and out. And it's 1-0. Alm returns to the box. .19 hits and 17 RBIs this year. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, right back to the screen, and count evens up, 1-1.
Yeah, Farrell shaking her head after that, saying, yep, that's the pitch we want. And we've seen that a lot, right? She misses a fastball on the outside or a foul ball happens, but the reason why she likes that so much, it sets up all of her other breaking balls for her to strike people out like she's been doing all game.
1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did she go? Yes, she did. Alm goes around, and there's strike 2.
Yeah, home plate umpire Dirk Sorensen saw it immediately, and we've seen that so many times today, just Creighton hitters getting, put in a pretzel there from Olivia Farrell's breaking balls.
1-2 count with 1 away. The pitch, low and in the dirt. Nice stop from Breadwell. Got the knees in front of that pitch. 2-2.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a whole lot from Breadwell, being needed to stop balls in the dirt like that, but that was a very impressive stop there. As Farrell now sits in this 2-2 count and just 2 outs away from getting another win.
Here's the pitch. Lifted. No man's land in shallow right center. Coming in is Ibarra. She makes the catch, and there are 2 gone. And Blue Jays down to their final out.
And that's always a tough play to make for a second baseman. You get that pop up, and it looks like for a second it can go over your head, so you have to start tracking with your shoulders open in order to continue to move and put your hand out. But Ibarra read it correctly and was just able to stay in one spot and corral that ball for the second out.
Here's Dahlin. Last bat for the Blue Jays, potentially, if she cannot reach base. First pitch misses inside from Farrell for a ball, 1-0.
This has just been incredible performance, honestly, from Olivia Farrell. I mean, she has just been able to put these Blue Jays hitters in a vault and not let them go. Only 1 hit allowed and just 1 out away from another win in her Nebraska career.
Pitch up on the upper outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Well, Nebraska lost the last game of this series. Ended up losing that one to the Blue Jays in Omaha, 9-1 in 5 innings back in 2019. The teams did not play in 2020 due to COVID, and as we get that pitch, swung on and missed, 1-2, now down to the final strike are the Creighton Blue Jays. These teams didn't play in 2020 due to COVID, didn't play in 2021 because Nebraska played a Big Ten-only schedule a year ago. And now Nebraska on this pitch, hoping to avenge a 2019 loss. The 1-2. Just a hair upstairs. Farrell was way out of the circle on the way to the dugout. She'll have to walk all the way back around and deliver the 2-2.
She thought she had it there. I mean, that was a really good pitch, and it's such a tough place to call, right? I mean, that the area, it just depends on the umpire, right? How high the strike zone is, and for Sorensen, that was just a little bit too high, but Farrell going to bounce back here potentially.
There's one foul right back, and out of play, hits off the roof of the press box. Wind's picked up again. It's gone back and forth a little bit today between blowing very strongly and to more of a lighter feel, but it is once again blowing full blast out there to left. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. Farrell with another strikeout, and the Huskers pull off the largest margin of victory in the I-85 series, taking down the Blue Jays 15-0 here at Bowlin. And Matt, you look at this team, Nebraska, you think you're coming off a really emotional weekend in Ann Arbor where you pick up a 3-2 win on Friday. In the first game of the doubleheader, you win the second game 7-4, and you worry a little bit about an emotional letdown.
Sure.
You didn't see it.